Andy Murray is out in his 2017 grass court opener. This year's French Open finalist Stan Wawrinka is out in his 2017 grass court opener. Last year's Wimbledon finalist Milos Raonic is out in his first match of the 2017 grass court season. Is this deja vu? Didn't we just say something like this last week? Or does no one remember Roger Federer losing in his first round? Because the only thing I remember is Roger Federer easily dispatching of his first opponent at Halle 6-3, 6-1 in Yuichi Sugita. Or was it Rindy Liu that Federer beat today? I can tell you one thing, over at the Tennis Channel, they had no idea who Roger Federer was playing. Novak Djokovic and Rafael Nadal are nowhere to be found. Everyone in the Big Four's grass court tune-up portion of the season is over, and only Roger Federer is still getting ready for Wimbledon by actually playing real matches on grass. All that and more on this week's edition of Coffee Break Tennis. Hit the music. That's good. Coffee Break Tennis. Welcome to Coffee Break Tennis. I am Matt Bradshaw, your host, and I'm also the resident fitness guru here at Crunch Time Coaching. If you play tennis and you're interested in working on your tennis fitness or working on your tennis game, check out our channel and subscribe to Crunch Time Coaching. Browse through our videos. We got tips and tricks on everything tennis. So let's get into today's tennis news. Oh, how the Murray have fallen, not to mention the top 3 seeds at this year's Queen's Club tournament. This is really bad if you're the tournament director. You just know the tournament director is somewhere right now going, no, 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 no. So just think about that. Last year's finalist, Milos Raonic, 3 of the Big Four minus Federer, not playing anywhere right now. All out, no more matches until Wimbledon starts. Advantage, Federer. And I knew today would be good luck when I put on my lucky Wimbledon shirt. Look at the colors, white, green, purple. I wear it on the first match of Halle, and I wear it the entire 2 weeks of Wimbledon. And every time I do that, Federer wins, or, almost wins. Or loses in the second round. It tends to be good luck for me, it tends to be good luck for Roger, so we'll see how that works out. But right now, the good luck is not falling on Andy Murray, and let's get into Andy Murray's match first. Last year, Andy Murray won in Queen's Club, so that means a total of 500 points are going to drop off of his ranking. Good news for Nadal fans, good news for Fed fans. To make matters worse for Murray fans, a lucky loser took out Andy Murray. For those of you who don't know what a lucky loser is, that means basically the guy Murray was going to play got hurt, so some guy who lost in the qualification stage of the tournament where the lower ranks fight to get into the tournament got a free pass to go play Andy Murray. Typically, this is a great thing for the Andy Murray of the situation because you get to play someone who just lost in the qualification rounds and is lower ranked. It usually means an easier win in your first round. Andy Murray lost in straight sets to this guy. Now, in Andy Murray's defense, even though Jordan Thompson is a pretty low-ranked guy for Andy Murray, this is a guy who's won a lot of matches on grass already. That's right, this guy was in the finals of the Aegon Surbiton. I think I'm saying it right. I'm not sure because I've never heard of it. I don't think anyone's heard of it because it's a minor league tournament. But experience winning matches on grass is experience winning matches on grass. This is one of the toughest surfaces for players to adapt to during the season because they spend the least amount of time on it, and it's the most unique surface that the players play on. But I can tell you from the first game right out of the gate in this match, I could tell Andy Murray was going to struggle. Although it's becoming a theme for this year. It seems like every time I see Andy Murray play a match, he's double faulting, he's missing lots of first serves, he's going to deuce a lot, he's having to save break points right out of the gate in every match. It's actually a really funny thing that keeps happening. You see, right when I'm about to leave the house to go somewhere, Andy Murray's serve goes missing. So I'm frantically running around the house looking for Andy Murray's serve, looking under papers, checking the pockets of the pants I wore yesterday. And this time, I really thought I remembered where Andy Murray's serve went, but it turned out Andy Murray's serve was not on my kitchen counter, so I was late for my appointment. Thanks, Andy Murray. So like I said, Andy Murray played against a guy who's already won several matches this year on grass. But he was a lower-ranked, lucky loser. Murray really should have been able to pull this thing out. I really think the serve is a big problem for Andy. It has been all year, and it continues to be so. And unfortunately, like I was saying, it's really important to get these grass court warm-up matches in before you head into Wimbledon, because like I said, it's one of the hardest surfaces to adapt to. Going from clay to grass, hard court to grass, it doesn't matter. Grass is so unique and so different than the other surfaces. Murray is going into Wimbledon now with only one match, 2 sets, and he lost them both. Bad news for Murray. He loses 500 points, and he's got some points to lose in Wimbledon. Now, Stan the Man had a tough draw. Feliciano Lopez is a big serving left-hander who loves playing on grass, and he's got a fabulous slice backhand that stays very low on the grass. Much like how Roger Federer utilizes the slice backhand to his advantage in grass court matches, Feliciano Lopez has mastered it. He does the same thing. Even Steve Johnson did decent last year on grass, using his slice backhand, which is pretty good since that's pretty much the only way he hits his backhand. Also, it appeared that Stan was dealing with a knee injury during the match against Lopez, which I understand after the grueling matches that Stan had to win at the French Open and that blistering final against Nadal. I know he lost in straight sets, but that was one of the hardest fought straight sets matches I've ever seen. Nadal was unbelievable, and Stan was just throwing everything he had at him. It wasn't enough, but I'll tell you what it was enough for. It was enough to wear your knees down. That's why Nadal's not playing anywhere, resting his knees. Stan ran into some knee trouble. Lucky for Stan, they've added an extra week, so we have all of next week to get ready for Wimbledon, and Stan can rest those knees. I have a feeling Stan will be healthy going into Wimbledon. However, the same case with Murray. Stan's just got one grass court match on the year, and it's a loss in straight sets. Not ideal going into Wimbledon. Milos Raonic, on the other hand, does not get a pass. He lost to the 698th world-ranked player, Tanazi Kokkinakis. Now, Kokkinakis is a really good player, but this guy has only played 6 matches on the Pro Tour since November 2015. Let that sink in for a second. That ought to give you a good idea of where Milos Raonic is. Now, why this is a surprising result for a lot of tennis fans out there, it's not a surprising result for me because I predicted this a year ago after he did what he did to Roger Federer, encouraging Federer to slip and fall on the grass at Wimbledon during the semifinals, and then very rudely defeating Roger Federer in the Wimbledon semifinals, then going to the finals and totally flopping. Milos Raonic is cursed forever. I called it last year, and it's come true. He's had no good results anywhere, and like I said last year, Milos Raonic will never be in a Grand Slam final ever again. Now, before we talk about my favorite person in the whole world, Roger Federer, let's talk a little bit about Nadal and Novak Djokovic. One thing they have in common, it looks like they're not going to be getting any grass court matches in before Wimbledon. That's bad. That's bad for all these big four guys, and Federer is the only person who has more matches to look forward to before stepping on the hallowed grounds of Wimbledon. Now, there are some rumors that Djokovic is considering playing Eastbourne. This is a tournament that usually the top players skip because it's right before Wimbledon. I mean, it literally ends a couple days before Wimbledon starts. Not ideal if you're trying to go into Wimbledon fully rested. But Djokovic might be desperate at this point, and I wouldn't be totally surprised if someone like a Raonic or Murray slipped into Eastbourne last minute just to get a couple matches. But I'm not expecting that to happen. So while Novak Djokovic and Rafa Nadal have it in common that they're not going to be getting a whole lot of practice in before Wimbledon on the grass, one thing that they don't have in common is last year's results. Now, if you remember last year, Rafa had to pull out of the French Open even though he looked pretty good, like he had a chance to go pretty deep in the tournament with injury, and then he skipped Wimbledon. But Djokovic, on the other hand, won Wimbledon. So we have total opposites. Nadal, 0 points to defend, 2,000 points to gain, and the world #1 ranking. Good news for Rafa Nadal fans. But if you're a Djokovic fan, you never know, never doubt a champion. He's been an incredible champion over the years, so you got to give him a chance to do something, and he's been great at Wimbledon in the last 5 years. Last thoughts on Nadal. This guy, in the last 6 years, has not made it past the 4th round of Wimbledon. Think about that. And he hasn't made it past the 2nd round of Wimbledon, except for that 1 year where he made it to the 4th round. So in 6 years, Nadal has had very little success at Wimbledon. However, he's so hot right now, he looked incredible at the French Open. You'd be crazy not to give Nadal a chance to go deep at Wimbledon too, and he's got a lot on the line. He can be #1 in the world again. Who would have thought that was going to happen a year, 2 years ago? I don't know. But Rafa fans have a lot to look forward to. This is really shaping up to be the best Wimbledon in a long time for the majority of tennis fans who absolutely adore Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal. Now, on to the good stuff. Ta-da! Congratulations, Mr. GOAT. 1,100 victories. That's right, Roger Federer got his 1,100th win today at Halle, and oh, did he need that win to put Stuttgart behind. Oh my, I do not know what to do with myself with all of this good Federer fan news. Because I am a super Federer fan, just oozing with partiality and raw, unfiltered, unfettered Roger Federer bias. Roger Federer
bias.
I mean, everything was working in this match. Federer looked pretty good. The serve location was spot on. He had 8 aces, and he was hitting his spots, setting himself up to win early in the points, point after point. The forehand looked great, and the Tennis Channel commentators pointed it out often. Although since they didn't know who exactly Federer was playing, I'm not sure if I believe them. I did notice a lot more slicing from Roger Federer on the backhand side. Now, we all know that a theme for Federer this year, and part of his success, has been the way he's been taking his one-handed backhand topspin very early and with a lot of power. It's looked really good. So this is a thing to watch out for as we get into the grass court season, fans out there. Make sure you look carefully at what Federer's doing with that backhand. It's such a weapon to slice the ball low on grass because of the surface, so it's important that Federer fine-tunes that slice and utilizes it as a weapon as often as he can. But a big part of what had Federer beating Nadal 3 times this year is him coming over the ball with that backhand and taking it super early. The good news is Federer did take some good rips at the backhand and was timing the ball well on that side, but I would say he sliced a lot more often than we've seen in 2017. I don't think it's a bad thing though because it's the grass court season. Come on. If you'd like to see an example of Roger Federer coming over that backhand, find some highlights on YouTube today and go to the second set when Sugita is serving the second point of his first service game. He's down love 15. Federer rips the backhand cross court on the return, and then he sets up a very nice, clean forehand winner. It is pure maestro bliss. You got to check that out. Just find that point. Just that, if you only watch one point from today's match, that's the point. That's the point. That's the one to watch. So, finding that perfect balance on when to slice and when to go for topspin on the backhand may be a little bit of a challenge for Federer this year. He's going to have to really think about what he wants to do. But luckily, he's got some more matches to look forward to at Halle to test all that stuff out before he hits Wimbledon. And he appeared to find the perfect balance against Sugita today, who really couldn't do anything to stop him. And ironically, Sugita was the one who beat Jordan Thompson in that first minor league grass court tournament of the year. As you see, pictured here, Sugita is holding up the trophy. So, put it this way. Murray loses in straight sets to the finalist, and Federer almost bagels, completely dismantling the champion in his match. Deduce from that what you will. And finally today, in Coffee Break Tennis, I found it to be just as delicious as my delicious coffee when the Tennis Channel commentators apparently did not get the memo on who Federer was playing. Rindy Liu had pulled out with an injury. Therefore, Federer, just like Murray, got to play lucky loser in Sugita. However, all the way up to the warm-up, it appeared the commentators had no idea of this change. I don't know how. Because as they are introducing the players, they showed this man, pictured here, who is Sugita, and introduced him as Rindy Liu. This man, pictured here, who was clearly a different man. But on Tennis Channel, they didn't recognize that difference and continued to introduce the player as the wrong person. Luckily, they figured it out and corrected themselves early as the warm-up started. But I'd never seen anything quite like that, and I found it to be mildly entertaining. So, if anyone out there caught this faux pas along with me, please comment below and let me know. Give a thumbs up, because we're working hard here at Coffee Break Tennis to catch them. So there was a little confusion with who Roger Federer was playing this morning. However, many people have concocted all kinds of conspiracy theories. Some people even think that the tournament is biased towards Roger Federer and actually had somehow rigged the system so Federer got to play a lucky loser. So to clear this all up, we have an exclusive interview with the tournament director of the German Grass Court Championships in Halle. Guten Abend, Herr Direktor, und willkommen zu my show, Coffee Break Tennis. Thanks for coming on and taking the time to do this interview.
Oh, hallo and dankeschön. No problems at all, Herr Coffee.
So as I said earlier, there was a lot of confusion on who Federer was going to be playing this morning. If you wouldn't mind, take a stab at clearing that up for the viewers.
Oh, you see, hello, actually, suffered, how would you say it, a bit of a double fault in the locker room. Luckily, the inexperienced lucky loser had malfunction with his auto and was unable to leave the premises.
Oh. So Lou must have been just devastated when he informed you that he was injured and wasn't going to be able to play the match.
Oh, not at all. Hello was actually very happy to do this. In fact, it was his pleasure.
Excuse me here, Tournament Director, but you said Lou was happy to do this for us. My understanding is that he was injured and unable to play.
Oh, sorry. It is how say you in your language, a barrier?
Well, I guess we could say it was lost in translation then, Tournament Director.
Yes, you are very good to understand me, Herr Coffee. I appreciate the notion for having me on Coffee. You are very celebrated, very good show. We understand in our country to be good for your people to watch.
So that's a rather funny story. You say Sugita was well on his way out of town to get ready for his next tournament, I imagine. And then he had car trouble, therefore that was the only reason why he was still in town and available to play. He must have been very surprised when you informed him only hours before the match that he was going to be on center court playing Roger Federer.
Yes, he was very surprised indeed. Sugita, he was not able to get ready for, ready for playing tennis.
Yeah.
With,
match prep, yeah. I'm sure he had to rush through his match prep.
I mean, if his auto is no good, we would know nothing about it.
Sure, Herr Director. Final question. There's a lot of speculation that you guys have a bias towards Roger Federer after you were quoted in 2015 saying that Roger Federer was your, quote, cash cow. Would you mind taking a stab at clearing that one up for us, Mr. Director?
The media is very misleading in which sometimes they try to persuade the people for making the opinions for themselves. So the tournament is very good. We like to make sure we have ways of making people do what we want. So we just try to make sure we have a happy tournament. And we are neutral for this maestro, who is number one.
Well, thank you very much for your time, Mr. Director. Be spald and enjoy the championships, as I'm sure all of us fans will be doing at home.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Herr Coffee. It's very much pleasure for me to speak to you.
I don't know about you guys, but that guy gives me the creeps. Well, all right, folks, that's about it for us here at Coffee Break Tennis. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, please click the thumbs up button or comment and let me know what you think about the unfolding of this exciting grass court season. I know nobody expected for the top 3 seeds to all go down in order today at the Queen's Club tournament. And I'm sure a lot of you thought we'd see some great play from Roger Federer, as we did. And he's got Misha Zverev up next. Alexander Zverev and Misha Zverev are looking very good. Watch out for those guys. Also, Luca Pouille looks pretty good. Grigor Dimitrov had a win against Ryan Harrison pretty easily, so he's looking good. And I think this is shaping up to be an exciting grass court season with a lot of mystery on what's going to happen at the top of the men's game. I'm Matt from Crunch Time Coaching, the fitness guru and the expert on the pro game. Catch me here with analysis next time on Coffee Break Tennis, and I'll see you before this thing's over when Federer holds up that awkwardly giant German grass court tournament trophy. Bis bald, ja. Tschüss.